It's November 18th, 2021, and you are listening to the Take the Over podcast presented by Live Casino. Let's go. Let's go. All right, that is way better. Perfect. Way more better. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Take the Over show presented by Live Casino. My name is Derek, and as always, I'm going to be your host today. And joining me is our faithful co-host from different locations today. Drew Hirschko. Drew, how's it going, man?
Derek, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me live.
Yeah, this is it.
We're doing it. We're doing it right now. That's cool. I'm doing well. This is a new setup, kind of a first for us, but something we wanted to try out a little bit. So tonight was a good enough reason to do it.
Yeah, I think we want to bring guests on. We want to do that. So it worked out that we could be in separate locations, record all together here, and then next week bring some electric guests on the show. If it comes through, just so everyone knows, if it comes through and our guest comes through next week, oh, that is not an episode you want to miss. It's gonna be. I don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be good.
Can you give any hints?
Huh? You can.
Can you give any hints?
Can I give any hints? I was thinking we were gonna fade the faded.
I think that's a great idea.
I've confirmed. I've talked to him. The man known as Fade the Faded is in. Well, we're gonna Skype him in. So today is a test run for us using Skype. We're using We're being good millennials. We're using technology to make our picks. We missed last week, so we don't have any recap on last week. If I were to give you a recap on last week, I missed every bet I took. It was just not a good week for me, just in general. And so we had some issues there. But we're back this week. New slate, clean slate. We're gonna do all right. What do you think?
I think you're right. I think we were texting last week, and your picks didn't do so well, and mine really weren't great for all that matter. But you made me feel a little bit better because you were. I don't know if you hit anything. So.
I didn't hit anything until I took like 6 hockey bets on Wednesday, Tuesday, because I was like, well, I can't miss all 6. And I didn't. I did not miss all 6. So we're back. We're coming back now, and we got we're recording a little bit later. We usually record on Tuesdays. Today we're recording on Thursday, and we got some NFL action tonight. We never get to pick this late because we always have it like. It always happens way later than this, so we never get to pick tonight. So we can actually pick, and we can do prop bets, and we can do fun things. So this is exciting for me. So we got the Patriots, the New England Patriots, at the Atlanta Falcons. Patriots giving 6.5. Any initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the Patriots are going to cover that pretty easily. I think because I took the Falcons.
Last week?
Maybe not last week, but maybe not last week, the week before. But it's like they're proving that they are the. There's a reason quarterback Packers is playing 4 positions for them. It's because they don't have anybody that's better than them at those 4 positions. So they're really lacking talent, I think. And then Mac Jones is coming on as a quarterback that's very capable. It's hard to dispute that at this point. So I think Pats minus 6.5. I think if Atlanta does cover, I wouldn't be surprised if it was some type of a backdoor situation. Where the Pats are up 13 late in the fourth and the Falcons get a touchdown, field goal to cover it that way. You were texting something earlier. I won't jump on top of you, but I like what you texted earlier.
About the dogs?
The dogs and using the tees in your favor. That's I think this is a great game for that as well.
I think so I think this is definitely going to be a tease game. But one thing, like just to say what you said basically is Bill Belichick doesn't. There's no off week for him. There's no short week. There's no, like, any other coach in the country coming off a short week, you're like, who knows what's going to show up. That doesn't happen with Bill Belichick teams. The defense is handling teams right now. The Patriots defense just put, they let 7 points up against the Browns last week, and they put up 45 on their own end. So, I don't know. This just feels like a recipe for disaster. With Calvin Ridley being out, the Falcons looked awful last week. This could get out of hand in a hurry. 6.5 it's not a bad line. I think that I'm on with you. I think that the Patriots cover this one pretty easily. But yeah, I do like Pat's money line, like over 40. What did I say in the text? Over 40.5.
Well, let's check it out on FanDuel right now. It's minus 6.5, and then over the total of 47. So
okay.
you'd be at Patriots money line and then over 41. I think that's a great place to be.
Over 41.5. You could even do, because I mean the Patriots offense has been they put up 45 points twice in the last 3 weeks. So the Atlanta Falcons defense is bad. Calvin Ridley's still out.
Yep.
I think what did that come out to? Did you see it?
I'll do the totals right now for the alternate spreads.
Okay.
But you mentioned something too about Kyle Pitts that I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, so Bill Belichick is basically, he's the guy that started the whole tight end thing being like tight ends being weapons, with Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. Like that was like, he's like, I want two dudes out there that can make plays. And that was one thing that like his whole scheme was built around that. So if he built a scheme for that, I'm pretty sure he can build a scheme to defend that. I mean, he took guys. I mean, he's been taking guys out of out of lineups for years. So one of the things, like if Bill Belichick doesn't want you to do well, you're not gonna do well. Like it happens very rarely. I definitely think but I'm also kind of mad that Patriots fans have like Mac Jones and he looks like he could be a guy. Because they went from like Tom Brady. They went from Tom Brady and then now they have Mac Jones who looks like Tom Brady reincarnated and it's frustrating, man. And it's Patriots fans are like, well, last year we had Cam. Well, you had 1 year. You had 1 year and you went 7-9. Like, that's not. I'm calling. You know what the worst part is, Drew? The worst part about this is. Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Mac Jones will be the first rookie quarterback to win the Super Bowl, and it'll just set off his legacy. It'll just set off everything. I'm just telling you right now. That's what's gonna. The universe. It's 2021. That's what's gonna happen. Put a bet in. Put a bet in for this. Parlay this. Mac Jones offensive rookie of the year and Patriots win a Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what. That's going to be a great clip. Oh, I shouldn't have talked that quickly. That's going to be a great clip at the end of the year, whenever they do in the Super Bowl, and you can point back to November 18th, 2021, where you called it. I think that I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's great. I mean, so Patriots are being the Patriots, and to your point, they have 1 year of Cam, and I was just thinking how. I mean, everybody really is just spoiled, right? How spoiled New England sports fans are. But their teams are always very good, right? They're always competitive. Or if they rebuild, it's like 1 year they rebuild. So thinking about we don't have to go through. We don't have time to go through your struggles as a Jets fan with quarterback situation. But going through just 1 year of that, I mean, that's
it's not bad.
That's such a gift, and it seems like that's kind of the way it was. Mac Jones a little shaky to begin his NFL career, as you would almost expect anybody to be, and it seems like he's progressing at a pretty rapid rate.
Yeah, I mean, way better than anybody I think could have thought at this point. I mean, like, again, but in my defense, or in anybody's defense, look at all the other rookie quarterbacks who are all struggling. You got Justin Fields, you have Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson's been injured for a few weeks. Those guys are all. Lance is out. He's struggling. Mm-hmm. So you look at these guys that are struggling. It's like, hey, if any of them were in the Patriots. On the Patriots roster, you could see them like, oh, you could make a case for them to be like, oh, they would be really good. So it's more of like, I really do think it's the Bill Belichick system. His players really just buy into it. But so what was that spread at like 40? Patriots money line 40.5. Did you have that?
I have it. I got it to 42.5.
Yeah.
And Patriots money line for hold on, I already placed the bet, so I lost it in my slip.
That's okay.
I didn't want that for minus 104 on FanDuel right now.
Over 42.5. I think New England can get there most of the way there by themselves. Patriots money line. The hard thing is dogs have been playing well in primetime this year.
That's another thing you mentioned. You did mention that.
Dogs have been playing well in primetime this year, so more so Monday and Sunday nights. But I could see. Also no, underdogs are 7-3 on Thursday nights. So, I know. But I think teasing it down, that's just 7-3 against the spread. I think teasing it down, you're definitely going to, you get the Patriots on the money line, over 42.5, in a dome, no weather, hammer that, 104. Yeah, that's better odds than you're getting at just Patriots -6.5.
Yeah, I think that I like that. I like both those a lot. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad I have that in my back pocket now, and I'm going to count that as a win. Do you have any props for the game?
Damian Harris touchdown. The Falcons are not good at defending the run, and so I think, I think Damian Harris gets a touchdown because gets close to the goal line, which they're going to get close to the goal line. He's going to score a touchdown. That's -115. The other thing I would look at, FanDuel's doing a boost right now, and I think I sent this to the group as well. They're doing a boost. It was Kyle Pitts for 100+ receiving yards and to score 1 TD, and they were doing that boost at +650. But if you just take it as 2 different selections on the parlay sheet, so you get Kyle Pitts, anytime touchdown score, alternate line over 100 yards, it goes up to +800. So you're getting an extra 150, +150 on the juice there. So I don't think that's going to hit. I'll be honest with you. I don't think anybody's getting 100 yards against the Patriots defense right now because they're fucking playing really well. But if I were going to take a prop bet, it'd be Damian Harris, and I'll probably gonna throw a few bones on that bet just to see if it hits.
Just for the Kyle Pitts one special one, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, if it's +800, you put $10 on it. $10 is $80. That's nice. That helps the padding for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking at the player passing yards right now, and they're both actually kind of appetizing. It's 252.5 for Mac Jones and 250.5 for Matt Ryan.
Okay.
I can see a scenario where Matt Ryan gets a lot of his late. I can see the Falcons being down late and getting a lot of passing yards that way. Mac Jones 252.5 sounds like a lot to me.
It does.
So I don't know if I necessarily want that one. I do like if we can see receiving yards. This is where it gets very interesting because you have Kyle Pitts at 61.5 is -106 right now. I think that one's gonna. You can take your 100. It's a little bit pays out a little more, but I like 61.5 for Kyle Pitts. I think 70 yards to him that could be one play.
Not only that, they're really thin on wide receiver right now. So he's going to be lining up as a wide receiver a lot because he's kind of still built like a wide receiver. So I think he gets out there in the open and can make a few plays. Not a bad bet there either. I definitely agree with you because I think the Falcons will be down a lot. 250.5 doesn't seem like a ton against Matt Ryan, who's still been playing pretty accurately this year. He hasn't given up a ton, so that would probably be a play that I would go. I'm just gonna stick with Damian Harris -115 on the anytime touchdown score. If you're leaning any which way would you be leaning on a pick for a player prop?
Player prop? I would go with Kyle Pitts. That would be mine.
Over 61.
Kyle Pitts over 61.5. I think that's. Yeah, I feel really good about that one actually.
All right. Let's write it down. Let's lock it in. Any games stick out to you moving to Sunday?
Let's take a look. You asked me whenever we got on if I had looked. I hadn't yet, so let's just scroll through here, see what we got going on. Eagles -2 at home against the Saints. Is that a real line?
That's a real line.
Sure is. Packers -1.5 away at the Vikings. Before I talk about all the games, I think we could talk about how about those Pittsburgh Steelers, huh?
What?
We don't have to add a line to the song. We don't have to do anything, I guess. We just tie the lines.
That's embarrassing.
I don't know if it's embarrassing so much as it's just. I feel like once that game went to overtime, I feel like most people felt. Not most people. I feel like there was a feeling that this is exactly what the Steelers do. And playing that is playing down to your competition to a T. However, you have no Ben, you have no weapons really. So is it really playing down to your competition? I don't know.
Ben could be out again. He didn't practice at all this week. He still has to, basically for him to play this week, he would have to produce a negative test on Sunday morning before the game. But Also, he's gotten zero practice with the first team offense. Mason Rudolph's gotten the whole week of game planning. Not that it matters when you're in your 15th year or 16th year or whatever Ben is in, but like at the same time, like they've given all the reps to Mason, who is looking more and more like he is not the answer. That game is now at 6.5, which it was at 5.5 yesterday. It's at 6.5 now, which leads me to believe that most likely Ben's not playing. And if Ben's not playing, you're going to see a lot of Najee Harris, which is fine because the Chargers have like the worst rush defense in the league. So I mean that'll help out. But Mason's going to turn the ball over. He's going to make mistakes. You're going to go. I mean, this is a hard game for you because Church of Latter-day Chargers versus your hometown team. Where are you thinking? 6.5?
I mean, I'm thinking that. I don't know. This is tough to say because, well, it all depends on Ben's situation. Depends on how Najee performs because there's been a couple versions of him. I mean, honestly, I'm leaning towards Steelers plus 6.5, just because it sounds so improbable that they even make that a game that I think they could win it.
Dogs are 15.
I think Steelers would win that Sunday night game, so that's out in LA, 5:21 time change. I think the time change benefits East Coast teams when we're on the West Coast. Yeah, I think that. I think Steelers cover that plus 6.5.
And it's going to be all Steeler fans for whatever that's worth. It's going to be all Steeler fans.
Oh yeah, everyone's taking they've been planning their LA vacations for the last 12 months and just around this game in particular. So they're going to go see the new stadium and yeah, I'm sure it'll be a fun time for the Yinzers out there in LA.
It's so weird because the Chargers went from like, dude, this is a team to what is this team? Like in 2 weeks. They were competitive, they were dominating teams, they won some games they probably shouldn't have, and then all of a sudden like 3 straight losses and like Justin Herbert's making a lot of mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes. I don't know. There's so many people who are injured. TJ Watt might not play. Joe Hayden was in a boot. You got Claypool is out. Juju's out. Like there's so many guys that are injured right now. I gotta go Chargers 6.5. I'm gonna go. You're going Pittsburgh 6, and we're on opposite ends here. But hey,
well, I just think that the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6.5 and the condition they're in against the Chargers that are Super Bowl hopefuls, and Super Bowl hopefuls turning into playoff hopefuls. So that's not like you said, that's not a really good rap to have whenever you go from that kind of high to you're kind of questioning some things in the middle of the season. And I think we're gonna have a good rivalry. Totally off topic. I think there's a good rivalry for the best football team in LA, and I think that would be something that's probably what the NFL wants. That's why there's 2 teams there. I mean, maybe that's going to help the whole all of it because LA's not had success with NFL teams there in the past. So I think it's crazy enough that the Steelers are plus 6.5 that they might as well just win it.
I think
Steelers plus 6.5.
If Ben's playing, completely different game. The problem is they're not flying out there Sunday morning. So for Ben to produce a negative COVID test on Sunday morning, then they would have to fly him out to LA private. So chance of him playing, it doesn't seem likely. Dude, this is the same team that just tied the Lions last week, though. like that's what's so crazy. Like there's the same team.
Think about that. Think about that this week. Think about that as a professional athlete that you're now going to. You just tied a team that you should have beaten. So what's that like this week for the Steelers? I mean, they got to go in there feeling like it was a loss, right? They can't feel like it was something that was good. So is that a kick in the butt to a kick in the ass to kind of get moving? I don't know. We'll see.
We'll find out Sunday night at 8:21 p.m. I'll tell you a game that stuck out to me. I'll save that one. Was like you said about the Green Bay Packers. Minus what? 2? Is it 2.5? 1.5. Green Bay
Packers minus 1.5 away. Yep.
Everybody seems to be on the Packers here, and then like I don't know. It seems like everybody was on the Packers, and then like there was every like blog that I looked at and everything that I looked at was like they were on the Vikings. Vikings are getting a decent amount of guys back on defense. Dalvin Cook is looking like he's going to be a guy. that's going to be ready to go. Minnesota's a ton of weapons. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins. I'll take Aaron Rodgers in this one for sure. I think Aaron Rodgers gets the job done. Coming back, he did last week. They did what they had to do. It wasn't a pretty game, 17-0. It's in Minnesota this week. This is a great rivalry. I think the line's right. It's gonna be close. 1.5. I think the Packers can win by 1.5. So.
I agree with you 100%, and it's also -1.5 at -114. So it's trending towards that the -2 number.
Yeah,
I think that one stuck out to me as I scrolled through the first time. That I feel like the Packers will. I mean, it's also the battle of the northern Midwest teams. So there's a lot of pride on the line there.
Division rivals. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a good game. I just think that Aaron Rodgers is going to do enough this year to really make the offseason interesting, and if he's going to do that, it's got to be doing this. So I think he wins this game.
And I was thinking more that we need to. Well, not we. It's that time of year that it makes sense to do a lot of research before the show because there's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of hurt, not necessarily injured that's off, not playing, not practicing. But maybe limited in practice, and you're not really sure how they're going to perform game time. There's a lot of that. As I'm looking through these games, there's a lot of the lines don't make a whole lot of sense on the surface, but then you dig into the injury report, and it makes a little more sense that way.
Sure. No, absolutely. So we're both on Packers -1.5 there.
Yep. I'm in with you.
I like that. I'm not touching the Chicago Bears and Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson missed practice for the second straight day today with an injury. With an illness, not COVID related. It would be really unfortunate if it was because I think he's had it like 3 times already. I will go. I'll do the teaser special here on the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. So the teaser special, for those of you that might just be listening for the first time, the teaser special is 6.5 points on the line and then 6.5 points on the total. What I'm not going to do this time is I'm not going to tease down the total because the Bills have had a tough time scoring against good defenses. Indianapolis is a decent defense, and the Bills have a really good defense, and Carson Wentz has shown that he makes a lot of mistakes when he plays against good defenses. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do Indianapolis plus 13.5. So I'm going to get the 6.5 points, and then I'm going to parlay that with a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. That's my official pick for that. So Indianapolis plus 13.5, Jonathan Taylor touchdown. The over's 50.5. Like, you tease it down 6 points. If the Bills don't put up anything, it takes 2 teams there for sure to hit that number. And I'm just thinking one of these teams might come out flat. So
we're past the midway point of November. Is it time to look at the weather report for Buffalo, New York for their home games?
Not yet.
Let's see what they have going on this weekend. Did you look it up at all?
I didn't. I'm just going to say not yet. I just don't think yet because I think it's still going to be decent. Well, it's still going to be decent here on Sunday.
That's Buffalo. Let's see what they got going on. I'll look it up. We'll look it up in other games. So that's all. I'm plus 13.5. I don't mind for the Colts. I mean, the Bills have proven that they're fallible, right? They've had games where they seem like they're untouchable, but they've had a couple of games more recently where it seems like that. They're very much still some work left to do in terms of development and ramping up to the playoffs. So I think plus 13.5, and I still think the Colts have a lot of potential. I think, and I think I still think with Carson Wentz and Frank Reich. So plus 13.5, I can go with you on. I can go with you on both of those. I'll take a trip with you on both of those. Anything else you want to put for that? I'm not going to take Jonathan Taylor, though.
So what are you going to parlay it with? Because you can't just go to 13.5. Your odds would be like minus 320 or 270 or 280.
It wouldn't be great. But I might just take that without the juice. So let's see if we do 13.5. And just for everybody listening at home, 83% chance of rain and 47 degrees on Sunday in Buffalo.
So rain could do that. Over's probably high. Honestly, you might want to tease it up the other way. I know we're not taking unders, but you might want to tease it up to 57 points and take the under.
and we're talking 14 to 17 mile per hour winds. It's that time of year after the midway point of November. You have to start looking at the weather report for Buffalo's home games. We are getting to that time of year where that can play a factor into where your money goes and how it gets pulled out. So we need to start thinking about that for outdoor games.
Buffalo, Green Bay, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Philadelphia doesn't put up points when it's sunny out, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, some of these teams here for sure. So what do you think? You think you're not touching that over then? 50.5. That's a
No. Think about it. I'm just going to go ahead and stay. I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to take 13.5. I'm not going to take the over. I'm not going to take Jonathan Taylor. I'll let you deal with that one.
Well, then give us a pick.
All right, as I was looking through, I was kind of curious about this one. I want to get your thoughts on it before I make my just your very brief thoughts on this one before I make my selection. Tennessee Titans -10 at home against the Texans.
Yeah, the Titans. I think the Titans have been playing. They're 8-2, so they're winning games. They got backdoor covered last week by half a point, and it screwed me. So I'm a little hurt there. But they're without Derrick Henry. Adrian Peterson is not like the guy, but he's a guy, so I think he can do all right. And Tyrod Taylor looked bad last week, but was that like I'm shaking the rust off? You know what I mean? So 10's a lot. Everything that I've seen with the money and things like that, a lot of people are on the Titans or the Texans with 10, which is why I don't want to touch it, but. Could be you could tease it. I mean, I think they're going to win by more than 3. Or if you really didn't like it, you could go up to 16.5.
Well, that was a trick. That was a trick leading question because I do like the Texans in this game. Okay. I think the Texans +10. You mentioned that's where people are at. I think Texans. Tyrod Taylor. I think as many injuries as the Titans have on defense. I think they hit that over at 44.5, but also hit. So I like Texans +10, and then if you're feeling very adventurous, that over 44.5. With a lot of the Titans defense out, especially if Janoris Jenkins doesn't play, Bud Dupree if he doesn't play, a couple other major pieces they have out. I think that that's a perfect opportunity for Tyrod Taylor to come back and lead the 1-8 Texans against the 8-2 Titans to the Texans' second win of the year.
So if you like that. Which you're taking Texans +10. One of the things that I would consider is Texans +16.5 over 37.5. Because if you like them to cover 10, there's probably going to be some scoring in that game.
After I stopped talking, I realized that would actually be a great idea. So I was going to let you finish your thought and then also take that because Texans +16.5.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the total at, 38?
37.5 is +101. 35.5 is -117. So pick your poison.
I'll do 37.5.
Nice.
Yeah, 37.5 and 37.5 and 16.5 points.
Yeah.
I think that would have you questioning a lot of things.
Because
I'm going to take. You first, me first. Okay, I'm going to take my winnings from tonight. I'm going to put it all in that bet for Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
No kidding. Well, because I was just thinking, I don't think the Titans are blowing teams away. They're not blowing teams out, right? They're winning. Right, they're just winning. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's. I agree. I think yeah. The Texans, because this is a rivalry game. This is a divisional game. They're going to keep it close. I like that. A big line that is there are a few big lines here. What do you think about Jacksonville San Francisco at Jacksonville after San Francisco dismantled the newly improved Los Angeles Rams? This feels like if there was ever a letdown game from an West Coast team coming to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game, like it feels like this one.
Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I feel like I just can't even look at a I see a Jaguars game and I just breeze by because I don't know. It's like a lot of things that happen in Florida. I don't know what's going on. I don't think I want to know what's going on. I know something weird it's either strange one way or strange another way. I just know it's strange what's going on. I think there's more of that in that game. I'm not even going to touch it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. And speaking of the other Florida team, you have Miami at the Jets. That one's -3.5. Flacco starting this game because I think they're just like who wants to try, like there's zero, like I'm not, and I don't have to because I'm a fan, so I'm not touching that game, unless you want the Jets money line. This is the weirdest NFL season because usually at this point in the year we know things about teams, right? Like we start to figure them out. Yeah. But there's just like, dude, there was just so many weird games last week. My personal opinion, the game of the week this week is the Dallas Cowboys at the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that game has everything you want. The only thing that annoys me is every single time the Kansas City Chiefs win a game, even if it's against a bad opponent or a shaky opponent, which was like what the Raiders have been up and down all year, right? Every time they win a game, it's like, oh, they're back. They're all the way back. This team has more problems than just one game can solve. So, I don't know. You can't just win one game and things are suddenly better. Dallas has the best offense in the league. They're putting up Dallas. So here's some stats about Dallas. They're first in total yards per game, fourth in total pass yards per game. Fourth in total rush yards per game, and first in points per game. So their offense is a juggernaut, and they're healthy. They didn't lose anybody. So if this gets into and their defense is significantly improved from last year. So if this gets into a shootout, you got to take Dallas because they're the best offense in the NFL. You know what I mean? And if this doesn't get into a shootout, the defense kind of holds one side to Kansas City's defense hasn't topped anybody this year, and the Cowboys are getting points.
So that's what I was just looking at the very high-powered offenses against very average professional defenses. Excuse me. I like before you brought anything up, I did like Dallas plus 2.5. I still like Dallas plus 2.5. I'm going to lock that in as my official pick, and my reasoning for it is this.
Good.
I think that, just like you said, it's something that if it gets into a shootout, I think that I trust the Cowboys offense more than I trust the Chiefs offense right now. It's something that the 7-2 Cowboys, they haven't put up a whole lot of points. I mean, they throttled Atlanta last week, but that's Atlanta. So it's something that having a lot of their stars healthy is great. I think I didn't look at the player stats. Was Travis Kelce kind of having an underwhelming year? I think most of the offenses. I know that Mahomes had 5 touchdowns last week, but again, that was against, like you said, it was against Las Vegas.
Yeah, they Travis Kelce. That was like his last game was his best game, I think, of the year. I will tell you that it's looking like it's probably going to go to 3. So if you wanted it -104, get it at 2.5. If you wanted it -110, just get it at 3 whenever it moves tomorrow, because that's definitely going to happen. So for me, I mean, I'm all in on like if you're gonna give me Dallas, who might be the best team in the NFL. You know what I mean? At this point, who's better? If they play healthy versus healthy, maybe the Cardinals, which is so weird to say. Maybe the Rams, but the Rams the Rams just showed you they can lose, and they were 100% healthy on Monday night. So yeah, give me Dallas in the points right now. The Kansas City might not even make the playoffs, and they're giving points to a better team. And the only reason that is because the public is so hard on Patrick Mahomes. They're just like, oh, he's great. Because they saw what he did the last 2 years. Like, dude, he's playing like shit this year. Let it go.
So I think that he's got. It's not. I don't want to draw the comparison to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is a poster child for like they're going to be good. They're going to be good. But what they did at this certain point, and no question, Mahomes is a phenomenal athlete and quarterback, and he can distribute the ball, but everybody's entitled to a little slumber. It doesn't say anything about his overall career, but it's just one of those things that you can do the absolute best that you can, and it's not as good as somebody else's mediocre, which that's kind of the Patrick Mahomes like this year.
So you're locking in Dallas plus 2.5 or plus 3. I mean, whichever. Like I said, it's either way on that. But we're definitely all in on Dallas. All right, yeah. Well, this is gonna be a little shorter episode, so we're gonna hop into overs. And there were 2 overs that stuck out to me. And the first one was the Jets versus the Dolphins. That over stuck out to me because it's, 44.5 points. The Jets are giving up points at a historic rate. They've allowed 1,900 yards in their last 4 games. That's the most in NFL history. They've also given up 45 points in 3 out of their last 4 games. That's 2 away from being the most in NFL history. If Joe Flacco can put up any kind of points, this game goes over because the Jets' defense is so bad. So give me the Jets over 44.5 points. Yeah, 44.
That's your over? I got one over. I like.
Okay.
Cardinals at the Seahawks, 47.5.
Murray's
Those
not-
2 teams. Yeah, I know. But I still think those 2 teams are going to be able to put up a lot. I think Seattle's going to get most of the way there themselves. I think Arizona's going to surprise people. Everyone's saying, yeah, Murray's not playing. Well, he's not the only person that can throw the rock. I think we've got some. I think there's a lot of opportunity there to get over 48 points. I think that's going to be really low. I think we're going to look back on that and think, look at how low it was.
You think Seattle wins that game then?
Yeah, I think Seattle wins that game. They have a very good chance of winning that game just on my line.
Okay. The only other one I had is Eagles Saints over 43.5. I don't know what it is now. That I locked in yesterday at 43.5. Eagles versus the Saints. It's still 43.5.
Try to get to 43 too. You might get it again.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of those things where I think the Eagles can. It's going to be a chunk play kind of game. I don't know, that line seems really weird to me at +2 or -2. I don't really love that, but I think like they can score really quickly. You know what I mean? So I think that helps this gets over. And there's no team total that I like this week. I usually am kind of in on a team total. I just don't know. I just don't have any faith in it. So with that being said, that's where I'm at on my over. So Drew is Cards, Seattle over 47.5. I'm Jets over 45.5 and Eagles Saints over 43.5 for our overs of the week.
The Seahawks are a team I'm willing to make excuses for. Like a 3-6 Seahawks team, I don't think anybody really thought Seahawks were going to be 3-6 at this point. So they're a 3-6 team. I mean, they beat the 49ers, which are apparently they're very good. So I think that I think they can win that game pretty. I almost said pretty easily, and I thought about how weird that would sound. I think they can win that game pretty easily. So I'm looking forward to a good performance out of the Seahawks this weekend.
It's a weird week, man. There's a lot of shitty lines this week. Just a lot of. I mean, I know we didn't talk about it. I'm not going to go into great detail on it. I'm just going to tell you right now, I think Bengals cover. Bengals cover. Get them on the money line, 110. Bengals beat the Raiders. But that's just me. Do you have any your parlay? Do you have a parlay? I don't have a parlay right now, so I'm going to make one real quick.
So I'm on FanDuel right now. I'm gonna get one going. I just feel like it's right.
All right.
Oh man, this is looking good so far.
That's not bad. That one's not bad.
All right, let me get checked in. Let me get my previous bet out of there real quickly. Okay. So for plus 596,
yeah,
you can get yourself Bears plus 5.5 at home against Baltimore. 49ers minus 6.5 at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Browns minus 11.5 at home against the Detroit Lions.
For what? How much?
Plus 596. I think that one.
That's not even a hot take.
No, it's not a hot take. That's just all spread. So I think that I don't know. I'm kind of curious how the Lions come back after a tie in the AFC North, and they're playing the AFC North again. I mean, really not too far of a trip for them, I don't think. So it's something that I'll be interested to see how they perform. But I think the Browns. I hope the Browns perform like everybody's expecting the Browns to have performed from the beginning of the year, which is a very good football team that hopefully can put up a lot of points and finally just put away a game.
They're moments away from that every week, it just seems like. And for what it's worth, it doesn't look like Jared Goff's going to be playing this week. So that definitely helps that 11.5 hit. At plus 596, I mean, it's worth it. Even if you wanted to tease some of those down a little bit, you could get Bears at plus 11. And it's still going to be a profitable bet. So, like, That's not a bad one. I'm just gonna go a 2-teamer here, and this really isn't a hot take because I think both these teams are gonna win. And we talked about it a little bit. I'm gonna go Dallas Cowboys money line, Seattle money line, for plus 353. So Dallas money line, and then Seattle money line.
Those are nice. I like that.
And that's two underdogs, technically underdogs, but it's so close there that it's not even. I think that's definitely one of those things where I think it can happen here. So we got our parlay pick of the week is Drew has Bears plus 5.5, 49ers minus 6.5, Browns minus 11.5 at plus 596. Dude, when that hits, that's gonna be awesome. And then we got Dallas money line and Seattle money line for plus 353 for mine. Also, I think both those have a real chance to hit. So if you just do all of them together, you got Bears. I'm going to see this real quick. Bears plus 5. Get a bet the Haas pick if you don't have one yet. While I'm doing this, and then Browns. If you pair all of them together, it's plus 3,058. Plus 3,058. So $10 wins you $300.
So that's our hot take. I just put up both of our parlays together.
I think that's the hot take. So all we really have is just the man. That would be nice when that hits. That'll be so nice when that hits. I'll bet them both individually, but then I'll also bet it as a hot take for sure. I bet the house. I know there's a lot of games we didn't talk about this week, but there's just so many games that you're just like, why would you do that to yourself? It just.
Here's my line of thinking. Tom Brady hates the New York Giants.
Yeah, twice.
The New York Giants are plus 10.5.
They are.
At Tampa. Who wouldn't want to go to Tampa this time of year? Beautiful place any time of year, really. Think about it. Great attractions, great baseball team. Sports betting's legal there now. Shout out to all the Tampa listeners.
Shout out Harley.
This is the Giants Super Bowl. This is the game that the Giants they're on. It's Monday Night Football. So if you cannot guess by now, my bet the house pick is on Daniel Dimes and the New York Football Giants plus 10.5 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's
For the foundation.
Let's go. Bet the house. And that was New York Giants. I will say, and I wanted to talk about this anyway, since we have just a second. Again, dogs are hitting at a rate of 15-5. 15-5 against the spread on Sunday night games and Monday night games. So they're playing up. They're playing up to their competition. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still injured. There's still some injuries there. Gronk's not 100%. AB might not be back. There's still some injuries. They have the worst pass defense in the NFL. It's not great in Tampa Bay right now. They're coming off a loss. Tom Brady never gets embarrassed like he did last week against the Washington football team. Oh, no, that was 2 weeks ago. They lost 2 straight, didn't they? And they had a bye week. So coming out of a bye, either way, they played bad, and Brady looked bad. It looked like, oh, maybe he is 45. You know what I mean? So I like that, man. If Saquon can come back, dude, if Saquon's back, that's a real... Because, dude, he was playing well before he got hurt. I like it.
He plays well anytime. Anytime you have him in the lineup, it's better than not having him in the lineup. I almost think regardless of his condition, I think it's a good thing to have him in the lineup.
Just someone to look at. That's a good one. I'm going to bet... My bet the Haas pick, since I'm very bad, I don't know... We don't know anything about the NFL anymore. We don't. We don't know anything about the NFL. My bet the Haas picks have been about as reliable as the meat in a McRib. It's just been not good. But my teasers have been pretty effective. All right? The Browns are going to bounce back this week. They're going to score some points against the Lions, right? But I kind of have this feeling that the Browns are still going to brown a little bit. So I'm going to go Lions, what is it? Okay, so Lions plus 17.5 over 33.5. That over's so low, right?
So you're taking that the 2-team teaser as the
as my bet to Haas. Lions over.
Is that unprecedented? Have you done that before?
But I have to try something. I'm not winning. my bet the house picks are not good, so we got to try something. Bet the house Lions plus 17.5 over 30. It's minus 110, so it's basically the same. It's the same odds you're going to get elsewhere. So I like it.
I like it. I don't mind it either. Yeah, I don't mind it either. I think that I don't know. I got the weird feeling that I'm not gonna say it. Well, I like your pick. I think it has a chance of.
You don't think? No, there's no way Detroit wins this game. There's no way. Not with Tim Boyle as their quarterback.
I already have my. That's just stranger things have happened. That's
true. That's true.
And I keep it open mind. It's 2021.
So that's it. We did nice and tight this week. Just the picks, none of the fluff. We didn't get to sing because the Steelers screwed us. But I think it's good. Next week we'll be back in studio and we will have some guests. So expect an electric episode next week. I'm so excited, dude. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped to get him in there. You guys, I'm telling you right now, you are gonna love him.
The beginning of our guests, the beginning of our segments. This is it's a new era next week.
This is it. We're living it, baby. You're living it. So that is it. That is the show for this week. Thank you guys. Good luck tonight. We got football tonight. We got the hockey tonight.
I got Duck Pin. I gotta go to Duck Pin.
Yeah, go to Duck Pin. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and good luck this weekend, and we'll see you soon. Hey, thanks for listening to the show, everybody. We just want to remind you, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.